Hello, and welcome to Fall in Love with Your Business Again podcast. It's your host here, Giovanna, and I started this podcast because I've met too many business owners who struggle with their daily grind. So if you run a business, then you know how hard it can be to juggle work and life. This show is dedicated to all business owners who are going through the ups and downs and are looking to bounce back so they can fall in love with their business again. After all, that business you're building is supposed to support your lifestyle. Wherever you are in your journey as a business owner, I will inject some fun ideas into your life so you can love your business again. As for me, I run Bumper Leads, a marketing automation agency that helps businesses bump up their sales, inquiries, and profit. I love what I do, and I also love to travel and work, and I don't like to compromise on life. And I want the same for you. So let's get funky with it. Today, I'm interviewing Rachel Klaver from Identify, a marketing agency specializing in strategy and automations, which is located in New Zealand. I thought it would be great to host Rachel, as she has been a marketing consultant since forever, and her journey is something we can all relate to as business owners. And if you listen to about halfway into the podcast, you will learn how she was able to turn this all around without hiring a coach. Many business owners may also know Rachel in New Zealand. She has written a few books and she runs a popular workshop across all of New Zealand, which she calls Map It. I start this interview by asking Rachel what her favorite quote is.
I use with clients a lot, which is, in marketing, you just need to be a little bit less shit than everybody else. So it basically means you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be a little bit less worse than everybody else.
I love it. What a great quote.
Yeah, because people get stressed out. So that would be the first one. And the other one that I normally have is, I used to use it a lot. I don't use it so much, but I used to have if I was feeling anxious, I would do like a breathe in love, breathe out fear thing, and I'd slowly breathe in and out. I've kind of replaced it with swimming now, but it used to really help clear my head. And before sales meetings, I have a similar one. If I'm feeling a bit worried, I'll always go, this is going to be fun, this is going to be good, this is going to be easy, just to put myself back into kind of a good space and go, don't have to get too stressed about this. It's probably going to be much easier than I think it is. And I might even have some fun. And it's a good time. I'm thankful that I'm here. So it just changes my perspective.
So I've already kind of introduced you to our listeners, Rachel, but it would be great if you could tell us more about your awesome agency that you run in New Zealand and your life and how you started, because I think you had an interesting story about your journey as a business owner.
Yeah, so I'm a bit like you, Giovanna. I have a marketing agency that's focusing on strategy and marketing automation. That's where we currently sit. That's because, like you, we have an odd mix in terms of I work with my husband, and I'm a strategist, creative, words person, can see the big picture person and love digital marketing and the sort of the Facebook ad side. And my husband is got years and years of experience in IT and is a process-driven, systems-driven guy. So marketing automation is a really good fit for us as a couple. So it's just us now with my daughter works part-time for us as well, about 20 hours a week. And we've got some contractors. We're really happy having a small agency. So I've been talking to businesses this week. So I've been running a course, and I talk about how sometimes we get the life we like, the balance we like. So we start at 8, we finish at 4. I don't work nights, I don't work weekends. And if we grow the business a lot more, what's it for? Am I going to maintain having that life and the level that I have? Sure, we might have more overseas trips, but it's at the cost of having day-to-day happiness. So we're kind of working through that process at the moment. And yeah, we've had quite a lot of ups and downs. I've got quite a big background in freelance writing. I've had quite a lot of books published, and also as a strategist. So I've had quite a lot of different varieties of work, and Identify has definitely gone through quite a lot of ups and downs and changes as well to get to the place that we are now.
In your agency, I know you've gone through real ups and downs, and we're really talking to business owners who are kind of waking up each morning and hating what they're doing. I mean, did you have those moments in your business?
Yes. Oh, I've had probably quite a few of them. Our last one was last year, actually. We had a business that started with just me. It grew really fast, and in its biggest point, it had a team of 14. They were all part-timers, but most of us were working at least 20 hours a week. And we moved from that to having full-time staff and a proper office. I think I fell out of love with my business the more I had to be working on running the business and managing HR and managing issues and trying to go and find more people to feed all the wages I was paying. And I fell into this trap, which I think is a lie. And I still see business owners and coaches say it often, is that when you're growing, you shouldn't expect to make money. And I think it's such a fallacy. I think if your business is solid, you can grow it and still be making money. And so everyone else is getting paid without me, but me. And we had some pretty awful ups and downs. I had someone leave before firing a whole bunch of my clients because she told me they were terrible. We discovered then that actually she'd done terrible work, and we had to go back and redo all the work. And we did that all. My husband joined, and we did that all free. And we kind of got it back. And then last year, I was about this time actually, I was really just completely disinterested in being part of the business anymore. I felt like we just built this thing that was a machine. I felt like I was disconnected from our clients. I felt we were trying to be everything to everyone, and it wasn't working. And so Rod and I sat down and went, okay, let's just look at us. Like, if we didn't have anyone else, what are our skill sets? What is it that we have that we can deliver and deliver to a high standard? And we made like 3 or 4 things. It was marketing automation, marketing strategy, digital strategy and training. So I used to be a teacher, so I love helping people do it, setting that up and setting up things and then passing it back to them. And that is what we both together love. So we changed the business. We just established some jobs. We made the team smaller, and we just started focusing on what we love. And I truly, this year, bar the occasional day, where you have a rough day where everyone sends you niggly emails, I really love it, and I'm in a better emotional space. I love how we're growing. I don't have that 3 a.m. wake up time. I don't sit there stressing about clients. We don't get stressy client emails. It's just great, and we're making money. So it's definitely, I think business owners, like I talk about this lots, business owners start with like a really clear goal of what we want to achieve. But when things aren't going right, the way we manage it often is the doubt creeps in and we start adding other things that we do. And what I always say is, if you're marketing everything, you're marketing to no one. Because no one will choose someone who does everything.
Yes, I say the exact same thing. If you're marketing to everyone, you're marketing to no one. I think this is kind of the line from Seth Godin, who is my favorite marketing guru. And yes, I love your story. Did you have anyone help you, like an external business coach?
So I think business coaches are really important. I think the reason we haven't used one is simply because Rod and I are complete opposites, and we are very good at working together. Like, I know lots of people think, I could never work with my husband or partner. But we push each other and we challenge each other. And if one of us has an idea, we don't just go, okay, let's go with that. We'll sit there back and go backwards and forwards and check it out. And he's got a lot, like, he used to coach and lead in his business. He had a leadership role in a large corporate. So he's got a lot of business acumen and wisdom that I don't have. But I've got that other side of having to get through and scrape through and find a crazy solution to something. So I can kind of think outside the box and bring an idea in, and then he can kind of go and work out, is it going to fit the model that we've got? So we have had like little conversations with people, and we've definitely used our networks in terms of talking to other agency owners or other business owners, and often finding that they're having the same issues. But at this time, we have not used a coach, and we've talked about it. And what we basically do is normally say, cool, let's just see if we can work this out within a short period of time. And if we do, then we go, cool, we didn't need a coach. And it's only when you go, oh, actually, we can't get over this, that's when we would sit there and go, actually, we need to get a coach to get ourselves sorted.
I think you told me once upon a time, maybe like last week, you and your husband did something really cool. In order to revive your business, you decided to survey your past clients or run a survey of your past clients. And I don't think many businesses actually do this, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, well, we had to because the other option was to shut the business down. It was, I think it was 2 years or 3 years ago, 2 years. So we had this person go, and we just had no clients left. Like, she had basically said they were all tricky and awful, and I believed her. And because I wasn't really working with any of them, so I was like, just get rid of them. Like, I don't believe in working with toxic clients. And then after she left, there's some holes and questions that are happening. And so I thought, look, I'm just going to go back and talk to some of those people. And the story from them were all the same, that they were just really disappointed. And the worst thing was for me was, yes, she hadn't done great work for them, but actually they weren't disappointed in her. They were disappointed in me because I was the business owner. And it was a real my husband used the phrase "come to Jesus" moment, like where you go and repent. And I had to actually go and really apologize to these business owners for letting them down and not giving them a good deal and not delivering on what I had told them they would get when we talked about stuff. And I was mortified. And so what Rod and I did is, for 6 months, we actually redid everyone's work for free, plus did more, and went and made right. If we needed to, we went and visited them and worked alongside them. And we just basically reworked those broken relationships, and some of them became clients again and did more work with us, and some didn't, but they generally still refer us. And I think one of the things I say to clients in terms of marketing is, if someone comes to me asking for marketing help or marketing automation help or whatever it is around marketing, and I ask the question, are you getting word of mouth referrals? Are you getting repeat business? And they say no. I know really that no amount of marketing help that I give them is going to help until we fix that, because a business will naturally grow from word of mouth and referrals to a certain extent if you're doing a good job. And so, and New Zealanders, I don't know if it's the same in Australia or anywhere else in the world, but New Zealanders are not very direct. If they're not happy, they just go quiet, and they'll be polite. I think it's our English heritage. So we don't, and also definitely Māori Pacific Islanders, same thing, very polite, don't want to offend. So we're doomed here to not be direct. and so people will quite often just not say anything. They'll just go, if you say, oh, was it good? Yes. But they won't refer you. They won't leave a Google review or a Facebook review or tell other people to use you. A lot of organic growth comes from actually just being a really good person to your clients and delivering what you said you would do. It's a good marketing tool, to be honest.
I love it. I love how you were able to turn around your agency and that you are now running a strong agency in New Zealand. Now, you also run very popular marketing workshops across New Zealand. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, I've just done 2 this week, actually. I did one in Whangarei and one in Kerikeri. They're both in Northland. If you're travelling to New Zealand, I recommend going to Kerikeri. It's very beautiful. Although my daughter did say yesterday why anyone would come in August, September, she does not know, because it's raining the whole time, which is true. So do come in a nice part of the year. It's our historic part of the country, or one of them. But we do, that was just a plug for New Zealand. Thank you, New Zealand Tourism. We run these free events. So part of, after we did this, we worked out through our values, and we've got 3, which are to add value, keep it simple, and follow the customer. And if we look at those values, running a free event on marketing is a really good way for us to demonstrate those values. And so we run a full 3-day event. It's not a pitch fest. So I do sell in it. Out of 6 hours, maybe 15 minutes is me telling people how they can use us. But we show them basically how to create a marketing map of how all your marketing's connected. And I did it for a couple of reasons. So we obviously did it for lead generation, and I'm very open with that when I'm talking to people. I'm saying, well, of course it is. I'm not an idiot. If I didn't do it for lead generation, you'd wonder why I was there. And so we do it for lead generation, but we also do it because we are an agency that, because we've got a teaching side, we often have very little companies or small companies that aren't quite ready for us. And so we're introducing ourselves to them for when they are ready. And then there are people who just don't need us, but need a little bit of help and push, but kind of can be, and I don't mean this in a nasty way to any of them, can be a bit of a pain because they want to have like a free moment to pick my brains or have a free meeting to get ideas. And by having a map it where I just say, look, these are coming in your area, they can come to that, and then that's my gift, but I'm doing it en masse, and they're all getting the same information. So it's great. And for me, it's good because I'm connecting with a whole range of different businesses all the time and learning their stories and finding out about them. And yesterday, this last 2 days are humbling. I had quite a lot of people who are in their 60s who are starting new businesses and trying to learn and adapt to a digital world. And I was just so inspired by that. That's cool. And that's why I'm like age is not an excuse not to use the tools that we have before us.
So where can people find you, Rachel?
I'm on identifymarketing.co.nz. So we have that, and we also have a cool thing called the Marketing Toolbox, which is the marketingtoolbox.co.nz, and that's an online training school. So you can actually jump on and write a basic marketing strategy for $17 a month. You can just register on, and you can go through all the courses, and by the end of the courses in that level, you can have a marketing strategy. Or there's also ones around the different levels. There's also Facebook advertising, digital marketing, and then we actually have how to do basic active campaign marketing automation and things like that in the top level. So, which is 67 New Zealand a month. So we've got both businesses. Again, that's because we're really invested in helping those smaller businesses who aren't quite ready to work with us come and see us and help with those as well. You just have to put up with lots of videos of my face if you use the Marketing Toolbox.
Well, that's why I'm kind of enjoying doing podcasting at the moment, because you can hide behind the microphone. But doing podcasting is, I guess, one of the funnest things I've done so far this year.
I think that's been my lesson this year. I think the other thing that I would just say in relation to that too, I got the best money I spent this year was I paid a photographer. Her name is Nikki Groveeds. If you're a New Zealander in Auckland, I recommend her. And she did a couple of hours with me. I got lots of changes of clothes, and I just showed up in my personality. So they're not like me just sitting there quietly. I'm running around, funny faces with different things. And I use those photos in my marketing. And what I've learned is that we often as business owners hide behind the mask of our business. But the more we show up as who we are, the more what happens is that people will come and trust us. And I'm having fun. I think that's the biggest thing, that's the biggest change for me this year is my marketing. I'm having fun in my marketing. I've lost that, I've got to pretend to be this or that and look more successful or whatever. I'm just showing up as myself. And obviously, if I'm having a bad day, I just avoid it. But I'm just having fun. And I think having fun is one of the best ways to have an effective marketing strategy. It's so true, though. Like, I think we can. And it took me a long time to lose this idea that work having your own business meant that you had to be stressed. And you had to work really, really hard. You actually can create a business where you don't have to do every hour. And a lot of that's about learning what things you give other people. And this is related to you and me, actually. So yesterday I had someone in the Map It who came to one at the beginning of the year too. And she said to me at the end of the first one, I would like to work with you, but I just can't justify the cost. And yesterday she came up to me and she said, I am going to work with you because I said that to you in February. And I have wasted so much time and money in the last 6 months. because I didn't work with you to get the plan that I was meant to have. And I've realized that sometimes it's better to ask an expert to help me and get it all set up than to try and do it by myself. And I think that's one of the things I've learned is that, to have a successful business, it's learning when to just go and get someone else to do it so that you can just go and do the things you're best at.
I've really enjoyed talking with you, Rachel. You're so much fun. Just so we can wrap it up with our listeners, when is your next Map It workshop in New Zealand?
Oh, so my next Map It, which is in New Zealand, is in Christchurch, actually, which is going to be a lovely big one on the 25th of September. Then I've got one in Tauranga somewhere in October. And then I've got my last one of the year is in Auckland, and that's on the 6th of November. And I am, for those that are not in New Zealand, next year we'll be doing some webinar series around some of the topics.
Oh, what does
it stands for MAP, for the marketing map. Automation, promote, so that's all your marketing activity, invest, how we show people we're invested in us, and then trust, because as I said before, if we don't have our current clients trusting us, nothing else works.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story with me and the listeners. Love your work.
Cool. Thank you. Love you too, and have a lovely day.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed speaking with Rachel today, and I really hope that you guys found some inspiration from Rachel's story. It's never too easy to run a successful business, and Rachel and her husband seem to be a great unit, and they're making a real impact in New Zealand. So if you're in New Zealand, make sure you check out Map It workshops, and I've also included Rachel's website in the show notes. And also, if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe to this podcast and leave a 5-star review.